Hey everyone, thanks for joining. Here with Rory, I want to introduce what we're going to be doing on a weekly, bi-weekly basis. Today, we're going to learn a lot more about Rory's background, recent successes and things like that. But going forward, I want to invite anyone who has questions or has things they want to see in videos to drop them below. Of course, we're going to do a deeper dive into the company, the industry, and other things going forward. But we'd love for it to be interactive, and we'll mix in some Q&As as we go. First things first, Rory, how are you?
I'm well, yourself?
Yeah, good, good.
Good.
No
Thanks for having
complaints.
me.
Yeah, tell me now, being a part of Verb now, what your kind of day-to-day, week-to-week looks like as the CEO. And of course, we will do a deeper dive into the company next week, but kind of in general, what takes up your time?
Gosh, I often feel like, a one-armed paper hanger sometimes, because you just don't have enough time in the day and to get to everything that you really want to. Um, but I would tell you that the most important thing that you can do as a CEO of a company is recruit the best people and surround yourself with people that are far smarter than you are in whatever particular areas that you've hired them for. That's absolutely essential. Um, when I created Telex, I did everything, and I did everything in the beginning, not only because we were cash strapped as we were starting that business, but because I felt like I could do it better than everybody else. I was selling, I was doing the financials, I was managing the business, I was involved in the technology. And I did it again because I just thought I was smarter than everybody else, who could do it better than everybody else. Man, was I wrong. So when I began hiring people in their respective areas, people could do the finances far better than I could ever do it. People that could sell far better than I could sell. When I started plugging those people in, that's when Telex took off. And again, we sold it for a ton of dough. And that was a lesson I suggest that other entrepreneurs thinking about starting a business embrace. So I'm fortunate that I'm able to attract really super bright people. So I'm not as much in the weeds as as you have to be when you're first starting out, because I've got people that are in the weeds for me, doing a far better job in the weeds than I could possibly do. And so I feel really really fortunate about that. But I've got my direct reports, and I stay on top of pretty much every single thing that goes on in the business. And when you think about it, there's so many facets to the business. There's so many things that you need to be on top of. Everything from your SEC reporting, your filings, to sales and marketing. Do we have the right marketing messaging? Do we have the right salespeople? Do we need to add more? Are people not performing? Do we need to replace them? And then you move on to the other areas of the business, the product development. What's the branding look like? What's the feature set? Uh, do we have the right developers? Are they turning it around in time? Are we following agile processes? Are we not? Who's not? Why not? I mean, I can go on and on and on, but this is what my day consists of. And then on top of that, from day one, I have adopted a practice and a philosophy of transparency, because when I think about um, our company, and any public company for that matter, we are stewards of the money that people invest in us. That's how I look at it. When I would invest in companies in the market, and I would have no idea what was really going on there, didn't make me feel good. So for me, from day one, I've always felt like I want to be able to create a very transparent environment between what management is doing, and what information we about that we can share with shareholders. And I will be honest that I have tended to overshare, and you need to be careful of that. Not just because you don't want to run afoul of the SEC uh, public disclosure rules and selective disclosure rules. You want to be very careful of that, because that's debt. But beyond that, and even staying within the SEC guidelines, you've got to be thoughtful about the kind of information and how much information that you share. But at the same time, create that degree of transparency that your shareholders, who I've always considered to be my co-owners, deserve. So so that's one of the things that I work on now. I have pulled back a bit over the past year. I don't mind telling people. In fact, people who follow the company probably see that. And it's not because I don't enjoy communicating this way on videos with our shareholders. I used to do a weekly video. I used to do a Friday wrap up. So guys, this is what happened over at Verb for the week, and give them a complete. I used to do that. People loved it. I mean, over the top loved it. You can't even imagine how people loved it. But it just wasn't. It just wasn't the right thing to do. And you have to find that balance. So I think I'm still trying to find that balance. But over the past year and a half, I've really had my head down, like really down, focused on um, new technology, new innovations, what I've referred to as hyper growth initiatives for our company, and obviously ultimately for our shareholders, creating value. Because at the end of the day, again, we're here because of our shareholders. They've made an investment. They've trusted us with their hard-earned money. So we've got to make sure that we deliver. And and delivering for me is not merely creating, okay, it's an okay business, you're growing. For us last year, we grew 40% or 38 something percent over the prior year. Um, so I guess in any other business, man, people would say, "Man, that's incredible growth. You grew almost 40% year over year. Wow, that's great." No, not for us. That's not even remotely close to the kind of growth that we want, that we deserve, that we think our shareholders deserve. So so we really, I think, have come up with some things that we've worked on hard over the past year and a half now.
Yeah,
Um,
well, look, I think I speak for everyone who's going to be watching. Obviously, thanks for taking the time to do these videos. I know this isn't going to be the last one either, so obviously, thanks for taking the time. And obviously, yeah, sounds like you wear a lot of hats, like any other CEO, which is fantastic. Maybe you wear a little more than others, from listening. But obviously, thanks so much for again taking the time to do stuff like this. And I do want to, say anyone who is watching, if you've got questions you want to ask, things you want us to talk about, please drop it below. But Roy, this is an awesome first video. Is there anything else kind of about you wanted to get out here before we close things off?
well, I don't think there's anything else about me, but I got so much I want to share about the company and my people and the products and the things
Well, you're
we're
gonna
doing.
have to hold on because
I'm
that's
with
what's to
you.
come.
I
Well, Roy,
appreciate
thanks so much. But this is a great one. We'll get into all those things, in future videos.
Great. Looking forward to it.